If you're looking for a family-friendly neighborhood in Wellen Park where you can have everything from large single-family homes to low-maintenance coach homes, with the high school right next door, you're going to want to take a drive through Lakespur with me. Today I'm going to show you the different sections of the neighborhood, the builders, the homes, the school location, the future entrance, and we'll finish up at the amenities so you can really get a feel for what it's like here. If you're planning a move to Wellen Park, I have a free Wellen Park relocation guide. The link is in the description below. And if you have any questions, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. One of the things I really like about doing these drive-through tours is that you get to see something you just can't get from looking at a listing online. You can see how the streets feel, how the homes are positioned, how the neighborhood is laid out, and really start to picture what it would feel like to pull into your own neighborhood every day. And Lakespur is especially interesting because it's not just one builder and one type of home. As we come into this first section, these are the Lennar homes and Pulte homes. Lennar has completed their building here, so this is now one of the more established sections of Lakespur. You can really see the size of some of these homes as we're driving through. There are some very large two-story homes here, including homes with 5 and 6 bedrooms, as well as larger single-story homes. So if you're moving to Florida with a growing family and you need space, this is a neighborhood where you can really spread out. And I think it's one of the things that makes Lakespur so interesting. You're not looking at a neighborhood where every house feels exactly the same or every buyer is looking for the same thing. Pulte Homes is still actively building here, and there are approximately 40 home sites remaining. So if you're watching this because you're specifically looking for new construction, there are still opportunities to get into Lakespur. If you're relocating from out of state, this is one of those things I would want you to know before you make the trip down. The inventory in a neighborhood can change pretty quickly, so it's important to know which builders are actually still building and where. As we drive through this section, you get a really good mix of completed homes and homes that are still under construction. And I think that's helpful because you can actually see what the finished neighborhood is going to feel like while there's still new construction happening. If you're starting a family, need 4 bedrooms, or simply want extra space for family and friends to visit, some of these larger floor plans give you a lot of flexibility. And that flexibility becomes especially important as your life changes. Maybe you need bedrooms for the kids today. Maybe 10 years from now, those bedrooms become the perfect space for visiting family or the grandkids. That's one of the things I like about looking at a neighborhood from this perspective. It's not just about thinking of what fits you today, it's about thinking about how it can fit your life as it changes. Now let's talk about one of the biggest advantages I see for families considering Lakespur. Look at where the high school is in relation to the neighborhood. The high school is right next door. And there's also a future K-8 plan nearby, right alongside the high school. So if you're moving to Wellen Park with school-age children, that proximity is definitely something I would put on your list of things to consider. Being able to live this close to your children's schools can make everyday life so much easier. No long commute across town just to get them to school. And when you're thinking about where you're going to live for the next 5, 10, or even 15 years, those everyday conveniences really matter. As we're driving through this section, you'll notice there's still quite a bit of construction happening here. Pulte is actively building on these remaining home sites, so this is one of the areas of Lakespur that's still taking shape. I like showing you this part because if you're considering new construction, you can see firsthand that you're not just buying into a completely finished neighborhood. There's still an opportunity to be part of the community as this section continues to develop. As we continue through Lakespur, we're going to come into the Mattamy section where you'll see something a little different. They're coach homes. This gives you another option if you like the Lakespur location and lifestyle, but you don't necessarily need a large single family home. I actually just toured the Ocean Grove 2 coach home here, which is one of the larger coach home floor plans. It's about 1721 square feet with 2 bedrooms plus a study, 2 bathrooms, a 2-car garage, and an executive kitchen. And there are currently quick move-in opportunities in this floor plan starting in the mid-300s. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check out that full home tour because I take you inside and show you exactly how the floor plan lives. There's also been some discussion about Mattamy potentially adding 2-story single-family homes in some of the remaining area. But I want to be really clear about this. At this point, that's just something that's been talked about and is not something I would consider confirmed. So I wouldn't make a buying decision based on that, but I'll keep you updated if that changes. Now I want to show you another piece of Lakespur that I think is important, especially if you're trying to understand the future layout of the neighborhood. This is the area of the future entrance off South River Road. Right now, this isn't a completed entrance, but this is the area where the future connection is planned. And this is exactly why I like showing you these things while we're actually driving through the neighborhood. You can see where everything is instead of just hearing me talk about it. Now we're going to head back through the neighborhood, and I want you to look at it a little differently this time. Now that you've seen the different builders and home styles, you can really start to see how everything comes together. And this is also where I think you can really get a feel for the neighborhood itself. There's a nice variety of home sizes, but the overall feeling is still cohesive. And based on the residents I've spoken with here, one of the things people really like about Lakespur is that strong sense of community and the family-friendly atmosphere. When I was here filming, they actually had bounce houses set up for the kids for a community event. The weather wasn't cooperating, so they had to deflate them. But I still wanted to mention it because I think it gives you a little glimpse into the type of family activities they have here. If you have little ones, that's something you'll probably appreciate. And even if you're downsizing or retiring, having a neighborhood where your children and grandchildren can come visit and actually have things to do make a big difference. Maybe you're spending Saturday afternoon with the grandkids at the pool. Maybe they're playing outside with other neighborhood kids. Or maybe you're walking the dog together after dinner. Those are the little things that can really make a neighborhood feel like a home. This is one of my favorite ways to show you the neighborhood. You can really see how everything comes together. You can see the different sections of homes, the streets running through the neighborhood, the location of the schools, and just how much Lakespur has already been developed. And if you're watching this from outside Florida, this is exactly why I do these drive-through and drone tours. Photos of a home can show you what the house looks like. But seeing the neighborhood from the ground and then seeing it from above helps you understand where you're actually going to be living. You're not just buying the house. You're choosing the neighborhood, the schools, the lifestyle, and the community around you. And we're going to finish our Lakespur tour with the amenity center. This isn't one of the enormous resort-style amenity centers you'll find in some of the larger Wellen Park neighborhoods, but I actually think that's part of the appeal. It's simple, it's convenient, and it gives families some really nice spaces to enjoy right within the neighborhood. If you have little ones at home or grandkids who come to visit, you've got a playground where they can get outside and burn off some energy. And of course, we can't forget the furry members of the family. If your dog is part of the family like mine is, having a dedicated dog park right here in the neighborhood is a really nice bonus. Picture yourself spending a warm Florida afternoon here with the kids, having the grandkids over for the weekend, or simply coming out for a relaxing swim after a long day. Sometimes it's the simple amenities that you actually end up using the most. So after driving through Lakespur, I think the biggest takeaway is that it is a neighborhood that really makes sense for families. You have a variety of home sizes and price points, multiple builders, new construction still available, large single-family homes, lower maintenance coach homes, and a high school right next door, a future K-8 school plan nearby, and amenities that gives families a place to spend time together. If you're just starting a family, raising kids, working remotely, and wanting more space, or you're further along in life and looking for a home where your family and grandkids can come visit, Lakespur has options that can adapt to different stages of life. So whether you're just starting to research Wellen Park or you're ready to come down and take a look in person, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.